Viola Davis is here. She is an actress known for compelling performances in theater and film. She earned a Tony Award for the play Fences and an Academy Award nomination for her role in Doubt. Here's a look at some of her work.
I'm a good person. I'm a good man.
You do not understand.
She's a copy, a facsimile, and she's seducing you all over again. You're sick. We are not taking her back with us. As my grandmama used to say, count your blessings and keep on stepping, which is exactly what you need to do when it comes to Reptile Jack. You should have married that hippie Potter with the great ass back in school. Hell, I should have married the hippie Potter with the great ass. My boy came to your school because they were going to kill him in a public school. His father don't like him. You come to your school, kids don't like him. One man is good to him, this priest. Then does a man have his reasons? Yes. Everybody does. You have your reasons, but do I ask the man why he's good to my son? No. When I was locked up, I had a roommate like you. She told me all about it. I don't judge. Let me see. I have been called borderline, bipolar, depressive, garden variety, hysterical woman, postpartum, prepartum, partum, fucked up, Angela Davis, angry black woman syndrome. I heard it all, baby. I gave up on that white floor, bright light scene. I feel much better here.
Her latest project is The Help. It is based on Catherine Stockett's best-selling novel about black maids in Mississippi during the 1960s. And here is the trailer for the film.
Emily.
We didn't ever think you'd leave Ole Miss.
It does take 4 years, Jolene. I got a job today, writing for the Jackson Journal.
Great. You can write my obituary. Charlotte Phelan, dead. Her daughter, still single.
Does this dress look handmade?
I reckon when you finish, it won't.
Thank you.
She looked like the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby.
I've drafted the Home Health Sanitation Initiative.
The what?
A bill that requires every white home to have a separate bathroom for the help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
Minnie? Hey, Abilene. Hey, Minnie.
These women raise white children. We love them, and they love us, but they can't even use the toilets in our houses.
Minnie, are you in there?
You are fired!
You said to write about what disturbs me, particularly if it bothers no one else. I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help. I want to interview you.
No maid is ever going to tell you the truth. That's a hell of a risk to take in Jackson, Mississippi.
Courage isn't just about being brave. It's about overcoming fear and daring to do what is right for your fellow man.
What changed your mind?
God. And Miss Haley Holbrook. I'm gonna help with your stories. We all are.
Y'all brought me into this, but I'm gonna finish it.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am, but you about to. It's quite scandalous. Sounds like Jackson, if you ask me.
You tell Abilene. Do I have plans for her?
You're a godless woman.
We gone done it now.
Tell me about the character here.
Abilene Clark is made in 1962, Mississippi. When you're introduced to her in the story, she has lost her son. 24 years old. She lost him in an industrial accident, and she is basically dead inside.
She has decided to stop working. She's depressed, and then decides to go back and work for a young girl. Well, actually, a young girl, Elizabeth, and she raises her daughter, Mae Mobley. And then through the course of this story, she's introduced to this idea to write this book about how it feels to be a black domestic working in Mississippi and working for white women.
She tells it through a series of interviews and conversations?
Through a series of interviews and conversations with Skeeter,
the writer.
The writer. And through the course of writing this book, I think she finds a purpose, you know, which has been absent in her life after she lost her son. And so it goes.
How did you come? You read the book and wanted to make a movie. You wanted to produce
I did.
it.
I was very ambitious. I read the book and I said I want to option it and produce it and be the star of it and provide all this work for women of color.
You could do that.
Well, in hindsight, it was ambitious. At the time, I just thought it was just very clever of me, till I realized Tate Taylor had the rights to the book and that he was a friend of Catherine Stockett, and to see what it has turned into, yeah, it seemed overly ambitious because I just, I was just driven by desire and need.
What kind of desire and what kind of need?
Just that black women are part of the narrative. You know, I just felt like it was a voice that needed to be heard, and I felt like I was the one that was going to do it, and it should be placed in my hands. And knowing that there's such a vast deficit of roles for African American women, I thought, okay, this is it. I can't even believe this was placed in my hands. Of course, then I found out that Tate Taylor had the rights.
So the dream is there to do things like this.
Absolutely.
For you.
Absolutely.
And it centers on telling the narrative of black women.
Absolutely. Telling it in a way that's complicated and didactic, you know, telling it in a way that is very humanized, you know. Once again, I'm a trained actor, so I'm trained to create human beings. That's what Uta Hagen says, you know, that's the mark of a great performance. The great Uta Hagen, drama teacher, author. And that's what she said, is to transform into a character that has a realized life, a full life, vulnerability, humor, sexuality, and for that character to go on a journey. And it's very rare that I'm able to do that. I have the need to do that, but I have to always try to do it in the context of a character that has 2 or 3 scenes in a movie or less. But this was a chance for many African American actresses to be able to, you know, play fully realized human beings. And so therefore, I wanted the rights to this book. And I felt like it should be placed in my hands because I felt like I was the responsible one to be able to do it.
Let me ask you this, and I want you to be as candid. I mean, you have to believe that you can go in front of a camera or go on stage and inhabit a character as good as anybody on the planet.
Absolutely.
No, you can do that.
I know I can do that. I know that
And you have done that.
Yes, I have. Thank God I have. You know, I feel very blessed that I've been able to do that. I relied very heavily on my training, but also I've relied very much on my observations in life of the people that have stepped into my life. But I haven't always had the opportunity to do that. Sometimes I have the fried chicken dinner that I'm sinking my teeth into as if it's a filet mignon. And I want the filet mignon. I would really always love for it to be already on the page, and for me not to infuse it with humanity that may not have a chance to develop in the course of the entire story, if that makes sense. This was a chance to do that. I mean, if you read the book, I mean, the voices of these women are very, very realized to me. I mean, I knew these women. I knew Aibileen. I knew Minnie. And very rarely does that happen. I feel like, you know, I always say that there's certain adjectives that they use for black women. You know, like dignified, soulful, sassy, wise.
And why do they choose those adjectives?
Well, I don't know. That's probably a better question for them. But I just